Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Blessings be on the speaker, the one who would always speak the words of truth and wisdom, the one who would always speak the words of truth and wisdom. And blessings be on the listener, the one who has cluttered herself or himself through unnecessary drama and conditioning. I'm sure that you can see the caption. On the caption it says, one of many people who are quietly and silently follow me, and they want to remain anonymous, which is fine. That's why they are anonymous. They asked me the question that they have gone through the book I mentioned in my retreats, messages and videos by Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, and they read quite in detail about assumptions, how assumptions are made, and what are assumptions and what role it plays in our daily life. So they went through the book. I hope you understand what I'm saying. They went through the book and they read about assumptions, and then they wanted my perspective or intake on assumptions, that what I think or how I perceive assumptions, or do I even make assumptions. And then they further inquired that can we reduce or get rid of making assumptions through self-alertness or self-awareness. I hope you understand the question, and it is very clearly stated here as well in the caption. So they inquired about that. So I, of course, have been working again last numerous days. That's why I didn't get around this inquiry. However, today I have some time, and I have been in a state of meditation for the last couple of hours, early morning. That's what I do. And then I decided to basically look into it, and I decided to speak with you, and I pondered on the question that I can let them know what my perspective or intake is. However, it is extremely necessary also, because assumptions play an extremely negative role in our daily life, or the process of life we conduct on the regular basis. It plays extremely negative role. So it is significant for me. It is very crucial or dire for me to address this thing, because it keeps us restless. It creates contradiction, friction in our awareness, which, or our consciousness, which what we essentially are. So, as you have noticed by now, by watching my messages and the numerous videos or retweets which I post either on Facebook or YouTube or both, that I look at anything which is an obstacle in our awareness very clearly. I look at very profoundly, and I try to make it very simple by using very easy words. However, I have tons of vocabulary so I use some time, but these words are easily understood, and I try to simplify as simple as I humanly can, so everybody can understand. So first of all, we are going to look into that what is assumption. We are going to look into what is assumption. So assumption is, in a nutshell, or the very fundamental definition of assumption, is that you do not have the facts. You do not have your facts straight. Facts means anything what you have perceived, anything what you have perceived through your five senses, anything what you have experienced or perceived through five senses, that data what you have gathered, it is not enough to basically comprehend the entire situation. There are gaps in that, and your mind is restless because you do not have the entire facts or the total fact to complete the situation. So what you do basically, through the help of your mind becomes your ally here, because mind of course is getting it full and getting high, because now you are trying to fill the gaps through the mind. So mind is in function and it's very happy. However, mind tries to fill the gaps in the situation, the gaps that you don't have, and it makes a scenario and it tells you this is it, this is the truth. However, it's not the truth. It's what you think is the truth. It's not the truth, but it's what you think is the truth. Truth is what's happening at any given moment, is silent. Truth does not come with words. Truth is just silent. There are no words to explain truth. You can only perceive truth. And then your interpretation of truth, or your point of view, or the assumptions you have made, and on the top of that you think that the assumption you have made are true. And it keeps you restless, because it's not, most of the time assumptions are not very friendly, or if they are friendly, either way they are not true. That's what assumptions are. Assumptions are basically that you don't have enough facts about a situation, but you are compelled basically to fill the gaps through unnecessary images, thoughts, and you think they are true. So we all of us, myself included, and nobody is better here, one way or another, some of us make less assumptions than others, some of us make more assumptions than others, and some of us try not to make assumptions at all. Anyway, but one way or another, unfortunately, we do that because it's human conditioning. I am not going to even say it's a part of human conditioning. I am saying making assumptions is human conditioning, and making assumption sets us up for more misery and for more drama than we already have in our lives. So it's extremely wise that we try not to make assumptions at all. Mind gets the fill when it's in function. If, of course, if there is no thought, there is no mind. So mind is fired, or mind is sacked, or mind is retired, and mind does not like it because it used to be employed, but now it is retired and it does not like, so it makes attempts over and over and over to create images and all that, because mind like to be in function at all times. However, the person in the process, while mind is getting high and mind is getting full, the person in the process is being abused by the functioning of mind. Functioning, as I said before, the yogis do not have anything against human intellect or human intelligence or functioning of mind. Yogis do not have anything against it, but it's not necessary to feed the mind all the time. Then we say we feel tired while we have not even performed any physical activity or anything like that, but we say we are tired or we feel so shattered, because of course the mind is constantly in function. It wears you out. Essentially what you are is energy. Remember that, please. So the self-alertness and answering the question. So the self-alertness and self-awareness is extremely necessary. It's a comprehensive and very outstanding, I would rather say, tool for us to fight with making assumptions. It's a tool and it's a weapon, self-alertness and self-awareness. The more we are self-aware of ourselves, the more we are alert, the less assumptions we would make, or we would not make sometimes any assumptions at all. I have successfully completed that, basically. I don't make assumptions. And I can see the movement of my mind, the how it's trying to compel me. I can feel it. Of course, you cannot see the mind, but it very well exists. It keeps you restless. That's the evidence right there that it is very real. Real does not necessarily mean that you have to see it. You see, real, you can, if you feel it and it keeps you restless, it is also real. You cannot see the emotions or sentiments, but they are real. They are there. You cannot deny that. You are the one who is perceiving this. So, mind basically, so I have completed myself. What the word I'm looking for in English, I have transcended myself about this assumption drama. I don't make assumptions at all. My mind, for some time, it becomes restless because now it wants security. You see, I'm looking at the question and I'm trying to bring clarity as much as I can. So I want your focus intact here, not through the thinking mind, but not to imagine my words, but I want your entire focus here, because if you focus what I'm saying here, it would liberate you. It would bring more clarity in you. And it's the answer of the inquiry. So I have transcended myself from this assumption drama. When my mind compels me or pulls me towards to feed it, I still do not give in to it. If I give in to it, what does it mean to give in to it? Mind does not have an effect about a situation. I'm giving you an example now so we can understand it rather better. Mind basically is obsessed with a particular scenario. Hypothetically speaking, I'm saying, for example, mind is obsessed with a particular scenario, or mind has the memory of a particular scenario which we have experienced in the past. And there are some gaps because, of course, we do not have enough facts about it. So what mind does, it brings it tries to pull me that please come and fill these gaps so I can rest. But the thing is, what I essentially am, the consciousness, the pure consciousness, also need to rest. So it's either my mind, I'm going to let it rest by making assumptions, or it's me. And I choose it's me. I don't worry about this mind. You see? Yes. You do what you do, you rest as well, and let me rest. Simple. So it pulls me, it compels me, please fill the gaps, but I do not bring my awareness or consciousness voluntarily to fill the gaps. And how can I do it? And how do I do it? Watch this. I do it by fully understanding what is assumptions, and I do it through self-alertness and through self-awareness. Self-alertness and you can, of course, we have talked numerous times in the previous videos that you can heighten your self-awareness and your or consciousness. Self-awareness or consciousness is always there because that's what you essentially are. But through the physical practices and through the spiritual dedication, you can heighten that. We have talked numerous times in the past that how a lot of things contribute to bring the consciousness up high. A lot of things contribute. The more free you are from the cluttering, the higher your awareness would be. Please remember that. So, and how can you be more free? Means in the vacuum is empty. So all it is there is consciousness reflecting is beauty. If it is cluttered, of course, consciousness does not have a chance to reflect its beauty because it's cluttered by the thoughts, by the negativity, by the negative emotions. But when you disband yourself, when you get rid of all that, what remains is consciousness. It's just like that right now, as I'm talking to you and I'm in a state of meditation still, I'm looking right now, the window is open and the entire view of the sky is covered with clouds or fog. It's literally overcast. It's not even overcast, it's literally totally cloud right now. So, and this is morning time here in America. So I'm going to ask you this question. Does this mean the sun is not shining? If the entire view of the sky is cluttered and covered with the clouds, does this mean the sun is not shining? The answer, of course, you know it's the morning time. The answer is, of course, sun is shining. But how can we not see the sunlight right now? The reason we cannot see the sunlight, and it seems a little darker because of the clouds. What are the clouds? The cluttering is stopping the sunlight basically to get to us. But as soon as the clouds are dissipated, they disappear, all there is sun. So sun has always been there shining. It was just cluttered. So consciousness is just like that, what you essentially are, that it's always there but it's cluttered. So once you unclutter and disband yourself from gossips, remember I gave you the key. Anytime there is a desire risen in you that I want to jump into a bandwagon just because other people are gossiping about other people, ask yourself a question. Even if I start gossiping with them, or I basically became the part of the band, how that is going to change anything in my life, or how that is going to change anything in any given moment of the life I'm living. So that basically the question you would ask, and then answer is, of course it's not going to change anything in your life. However, you would accumulate more negative karma. We are here on this planet Earth to dissolve our karma and finally find happiness, not the other way around. Please remember that. I keep saying that. So when we don't gossip, we are less cluttered. When we do not title people based on their origin, based on their color, based on their race, their sex, their gender, their priorities, or even their religion. When we do not get involved in this unnecessary drama, and when we do not do all this, then of course consciousness shines because there is less cluttering. When we do not get into the rage with other people, or when we do not scheme to get even, then there is less cluttering. You see how simple I'm trying to make it so you can fully comprehend the how you become more alert and more aware. So when you do all that, then you maintain and you dedicate also yourself with the physical geometry. See the picture behind me? Not only you are uncluttering yourself and disband yourself from all these negative traits, but now you are taking a little one step further by aligning yourself and maintaining certain positions every day in silence. That's what you are doing. And when you are doing that, then you are on. It means that all you have to do, just maintain these good habits every day. And then you would see the miraculous results that how heightened is your awareness and consciousness is. And you would be surprised. You would say, oh my God, I feel so lighter. Of course you feel lighter because you don't pay attention to the negativity or negative karma. That's why you feel lighter. Then you become very alert and you know what mind is doing right now. And this is not what mind does, but this is what mind is. It's not mind's fault. We are not blaming the mind. But we are so alert that we know that this is what mind is doing right now, and it is unnecessary for me to give into it right now because I don't see anything good gonna come out except I would be in friction and I would be in destruction and I would remain restless. You see that, and then mind compels you, please fill the blanks, please fill in the blanks, but you say, no, I'm going to rest where I am. When it is needed for me to use you, I would use you. Otherwise, you stay where you are and I would stay where I am. It's not necessary to give or fill the blanks because remember something, no matter what you think that you are going to fill those blanks to complete the scenario, you also have the awareness you do not have enough facts about any given situation or about a situation. You do not have enough facts basically to deal with the situation. So leave it. Don't be restless. No matter how important or significant your mind tells it is. But you know, you have the self-awareness, I do not have enough facts about this particular situation. So just leave it right there. You see? And after some time, mind would keep trying for some time, but after some time it would become silent, quiet, and it would leave you alone. I promise you. I do it all the time. You see what I'm saying? I do it all the time and I remain totally in peace all the time because I don't make assumptions. It's just a nasty habit and there is no good outcome of this because whatever is there, the truth of the moment is there. Assumptions you are making are only creating and keeping you restless. There is a friction in your awareness now when you make assumptions. When there is no assumption, there is no friction. You say, I don't have enough facts about this. You see, please remember, I said it a while back in either one of the video or in one of my written posts that you either know something, pay attention please, you either know something or you do not know. You understand? You either know something or you do not know. What you know, and what you do not know, you do not know. Just leave it to that. You see, I either know something or I do not know. There is no in between. You see, there is no, I do not have the inner facts about a particular situation, so I'm going to fill in the blanks. I'm going to make it up so my mind can rest. Well, mind would never rest, because as soon as you fill the gaps, it would move on to the next scenario and the next scenario and the next scenario. That's what mind does. And if you are not alert, basically, if you are not alert, if you are not self-aware, it would just keep doing that, and you would just keep going, thought after thought after thought. So the only thing, through the dedication and uncluttering ourselves, we are making our mind our ally. You see? So the mind speaks with us friendly, and when we want to use it, we can use it. When we don't want to use it, we can put it aside. Otherwise, it would just keep going. You see, as soon as you fill the blanks, your mind would rest for a while, very small period of time, and then it would move on to the next assumptions. Or it would just keep going, infinite. So it's better to learn to control it. Otherwise, it would just keep taking you to, it's just like a wild horse. If we sit on a wild horse and the horse goes wild, it just takes us anywhere where it wants us to go. And most people, unfortunately, most of us are living our lives that way. They don't see anything wrong. They think it's natural to make assumptions. There is nothing natural about it. The only thing which is natural is consciousness. That's the only thing which is natural, which is consciousness, or the sense of self-awareness. Making assumptions, doing all this and all that, it's not significant, it's not necessary. Okay? As a matter of fact, the less assumptions you make, or if you do not make the assumptions at all, the more in peace you would be. Because remember, as I said, you either know something or you do not know. What you do not know, you do not know. You just leave it alone. You don't make it up to fill the blanks, okay? Because that's not going to be true. So it's useless even. So I hope that I know for a fact that I have answered your question. I know for a fact. However, if you still have any confusions about this small video or the message or the answer, and if you want to remain anonymous, which is perfectly fine, there is nothing wrong with that. You can private message me here, and you can private message me, you can let me know, and we will start a communication. My services are here for you. I'm here for you. However, I have made it very simple that making assumptions is just feeding the restless mind. But the mind is never going to stop. As soon as you have filled the blanks in one scenario, it would move on to the next one. So it's only very dire and significant for us to train the mind and to understand. And that can only be achieved by removing all the negativity from us, and through the yoga and meditation, through the physical discipline every day, and making some time, and then you would start seeing the miraculous results. It's the most easiest thing to do, to make some time for yourself. I keep saying that. I'm sure you have learned to sit by now. See the picture behind me? In this position, sitting attentive, as attentive as humanly possible, but comfortable. And paying attention on the tip of your nose, bringing the focus on the tip of your nose, because that's life on the tip of your nose, bringing attention to the tip of your nose. That's life going in, that's life going out. It's very simple. It does not require any outside help even.